Hello there and welcome to our Primary Schools Hooked on Hockey webinar. This webinar will outline our new Primary Schools package, and we're going to talk you through the various different types of packages on offer that you can purchase for your school. So to look at the first set of packages and the purpose of why we put these together, it's linked to our strategic intent at Hockey Wales, which is to deliver world-class hockey experiences in our primary schools across Wales. To help us achieve that outcome, we want to put together a variety of different packages to support both young leaders, teachers and pupils be able to promote, organise and deliver more high quality hockey experiences. These packages will help your school embed hockey into your existing PE and school sport offer and create more playing opportunities to be delivered by highly skilled and passionate people. So the four strands to these new packages will involve training up new hooked on hockey leaders, who'll be a workforce and a pupil army, if you like, to be a pupil voice, positive role models to help inspire others play the game on the playground. We also want to incorporate some teacher training into this, and as well as the training itself in terms of the course, they'll also receive mentoring post-course from our coach developers and resource cards and virtual drone sessions to support their delivery of hockey, both in PE and during extracurricular. We've also got some opportunities for you to embed hockey, not only just in school, but also through support from your local community club. So where possible, we want to try and cement that relationship to make it stronger, to ensure that there's opportunity for a successful transition and to enable you to work closely together on any school sport projects that you want to run. And then lastly, we want to promote pupil participation. We want more pupils playing the game. So this package will allow that to happen both informally and formally, inside and outside of school, placing hockey at the heart of your PE and school sport offer and providing positive pupils experiences both as a player and also as a hooked on hockey leader. So there's varying packages, and again, these can be not, although some of them are set currently, they can also be made and tailored to suit your own school needs. So we've got a bronze dragon package where you'll get activity cards, you'll get virtual drone sessions, you'll get a leaders pack to train your hooked on hockey leaders who you recruit. There's a display board pack to put up in the corridors or notice boards to promote hockey in your school. You'll also gain entry to your local festival, which will take place in April, May next year. And you'll also gain some schools membership, which will offer you exclusive offers, benefits and discounts linked to some of the partners who sponsor hockey within Wales. You can also, at Silver Dragon package level, put two of your teachers or support staff on a hockey coaching course. So that may not just be your PE coordinator, it could be a teaching assistant, a school sport coach who comes into the school. It could be a parent who can offer additional support, so whoever that may be, who can make hockey happen. We also offer then a gold dragon package level. Once those people have been on that teacher training course, some post-course support through our coach developers. So if you want to further embed hockey, but feel that you need support to make that happen, we can offer that service to you to ensure that is able to happen. And then lastly, we've also got club link support. So like I've just mentioned already, bridging that gap between the sort of school to club link to ensure successful transition. And we want to make sure that that's fully developed to allow that to happen. And then lastly then is the Platinum Dragon package. So you've got the option here of having brand new hockey equipment, which could be used specifically for this particular program or to replenish or replace existing stock you've got within school, or you could access face-to-face coaching sessions, which will be 6 weeks of coaching in advance of the festival delivery to support your school engage in hockey, which can be delivered by a local club coach, sports development coach, or potentially a Hockey Wales coach as a result of signing up to that particular package there. So the first thing I'm going to look at here now is the leaders pack. So this is the pack that your hooked on hockey leaders will be given to work through, and it's almost like an induction to train them up into their specific roles. So as you can see, their workbook, which is editable, as with all documents will be, on the front page there, they simply fill out their name, the school, and the teacher who will support them through this process. They've then got a bit of a welcome and introduction, and a congratulations message, really, on being successfully inducted. And then outlined then is our hockey game plan, which is linked to our strategic intent. So there's 5 different things we wanted to work on, linked to engaging current or new players, promoting hockey, creating a thriving environment within school, helping people achieve their potential, and creating opportunities for the whole school to play the game. We then look at within the workbook where this all fits in terms of the young ambassador pathway. So As you can see at the bottom there, Hooked on Hockey leaders sit at the bottom of the Young Ambassador structure, but this is because we never had this in place previously. So this is the very start of the leadership journey. If they want to extend and continue that beyond and into secondary school, then they can become bronze Young Ambassadors when they graduate into year 7, should they wish to. Then they can continue that journey right through secondary school, all the way up into FE and HE, should they wish to, and want to contain that and continue that leadership journey throughout their sort of youth and teenage years. They've then got an outline of what they can gain in terms of rewards. So the more leadership activities they do, the different types of certificates they can gain. So if they do 10 leadership activities, they get a bronze certificate. If they do 40, they'll get a platinum one. And also, if they do go above and beyond and do go the extra mile, they can also attain a special recognition certificate, which will then trigger a national award nomination for one of our bespoke awards, which will be Hooked on Hockey School of the Year, Hooked on Hockey Teacher of the Year, and Hooked on Hockey Leadership Award of the Year, which links to the specific things shown on the screen now. In terms of leadership activities, that can be anything from delivering sessions on the playground, to promoting hockey in an assembly, to pushing out content on social media to highlight what you're doing. It can be absolutely anything they're doing to make hockey happen. So have that at the forefront of your mind when you're issuing these awards as they progress through those 10, 20, 30, and 40 activities throughout the academic year. The next thing we want them to do then is to look at their role in full. So we want them to be passionate about their role, provide a pupil voice, be positive role models, and help inspire others to play hockey. They're the 4 key aims really of being in their role. So have that in mind when you're recruiting your leaders to these roles. We also want them to then think about how they can develop skills and apply them in practice, as well as qualities, to ensure they're going to be successful in their role for when they're fully inducted, right through when they may be to progress to the next step if they graduate and want to continue in secondary school. So the next thing then in their workbook, they'll outline what resources they've got to help them in their roles. So listed are all the ones there on the left-hand side, and then together with a teacher, then we want the individuals and collectively as a Hooked on Hockey leadership team to write their game plan. So how are you going to engage current and new or existing players? How are you going to promote hockey in your school? How are you going to create a thriving environment? How are you going to help people achieve their potential? And how are you going to create more opportunities for people to play? So in this game plan document, that you'll need the leadership team with the teacher to write how you're going to do it, when you're going to do it, who's going to do it, and then when by, basically linked to resources that you've currently got that you can sort of access from your equipment cupboard. So that's a critical document to write to then map out the journey you're going to need to go on to embed this program within your school. We've then got something for the leaders to consider when they're designing their sessions themselves. So we want hockey to be inclusive for all, and in order for that to happen, they're going to need to follow the STEP principle and inclusion spectrum. So there's lots of information there of how they can design fun, safe, and inclusive sessions linked to applying both the STEP principle and the inclusion spectrum sort of within their sessions when they're planning, delivering, and also evaluating from start to finish. We're then going to look at the leadership log. So throughout their academic year, whatever activities they do in terms of leadership, they need to document it. And that's the only way we'll know at which and each trigger point they reach in order to issue those bronze, silver, gold, and platinum certificates. So all they need to do is write the date, time, the activity they did, reflect on that to see what went well, what didn't, maybe what they need to improve, and then get the teacher to sign it off in readiness to issue that certificate. And at the end of their leadership logbook and throughout the academic year, but more so at the very end of when they complete the cycle, we want them to reflect on their journey. So what do they enjoy? What skills do they develop? What have been their biggest challenges? What impact has it had on the whole school? And then what was their next step in terms of their plans when they progress to secondary school and beyond? So that's a critical piece to finish off the year in terms of their reflective piece around what they think they've achieved as a result of fulfilling this particular role. So in terms to help them in their roles, once they've completed their workbook, these are the resources they'll also get to apply into practice. So they'll get an events calendar. So we want them to use hockey as a vehicle and apply them to support them deliver national initiatives and campaigns such as National School Sports Week and Sport Relief. They've also got a number of different challenges you want to set them that are hockey related as well as health and well-being related. And these are not just stuff which will apply to the curriculum, but they're also linked to numeracy, literacy, and digital challenges, as well as challenges which will test them in terms of their integral skills as well as. We've also got a session planner. So when they're planning their sessions in advance. They need to consider sort of what equipment they've got, where on the yard potentially going to be delivering that, how many people are going to be taking part, what activities they're going to be doing. And once they've designed all of those, then post-session, we want them to then consider what went well, what didn't, what to improve, and then also track how many people attended a session, which will then form part of their attendance tracker, which, as you can see on the right-hand side there, is a separate document. So you want to know how many boys, girls, and non-binary pupils attended the sessions and from what year group. So they'll need to track this at every session to outline how many pupils attended each day, each week, each month, each term, and across the academic year to see what impact on participation this Hooked on Hockey program has had in primary school. The last thing they'll need to do then at the end of the academic year is to fill out their impact report. So they'll need to impact and evidence what impact hockey has had on health and well-being in the school, linked to the new curriculum. So think about what impact it's had on health and well-being, physical activity levels, mental health, decision-making, social skills, and relationships formed amongst others to see what impact, if any, this program has had. So that can be from an individual perspective, it can be from a small cohort perspective, or a collective class perspective, depending on what you've seen, observed, and heard on the ground from your Hooked on Hockey leaders. So that's a critical sort of impact report to write up. The Hooked on Hockey leaders will need to write that up alongside their teacher. We also ask the head teacher to tap into that, and this could be used, for when Eston come knocking potentially. It can be used to inform governors of what you've been up to, as well as ourselves as a national governing body to showcase and highlight any success stories you've sort of developed from being part of this particular program. Once you've written that as well, you need to submit it to us as a national governing body, because this will form part of your nomination for that Hooked on Hockey School of the Year award. So separate to that then, once you've boxed off the leadership workbook, which we've already talked about, and the resources that goes with that to support the leaders in their roles, the other thing that they've got then is a display board pack. So we don't just want to be a presence on the playground, you want to be a presence in the corridors. So this is what they'll get here in terms of resource for that. So they'll get various templates, first one being the about page, if you like, to tell the rest of the school what Hooked on Hockey is, what are the aims and objectives, and help in order to inspire others to play the game. There'll then be a template around who are the Hooked on Hockey leaders who've been assigned this role. So what is their name, what class are they from? And again, if you want to maybe add a passport photo to that to bring it to life virtually, feel free. Again, these documents are editable, so you can add names as you go on throughout the course of the year. There's then a session timetable, so tell everybody what days, times, and at what point classes have been delivered, whether that be at breakfast, lunchtime, after school, or an PE lesson, so they know what days they can maybe get involved in some of these sessions. And then linked to that, if they're really enjoying hockey in school, they'll then hopefully have an appetite and motivation to want to do it outside of school. Hence the template on the right-hand side there to promote your local community club on there. If you don't know who they are and you want information on it, head to the Hockey Wales website, type in Club Finder, type in your postcode, and all the information linked to that then will become accessible there. Likewise, I'm sure if you put it into Google search, again, it will flag up local clubs in your area. And again, fill out the information so people know who the key contacts are if they want to join that local community club to enable that successful transition to happen. We then got a partnership agreement certificate. So again, fill this out yourself and put it on the wall. It confirms the partnership between us and yourselves as an official Hooked on Hockey school. And then we also want you then to write out your game plan and again fix it on the notice board or display board, so everybody else is aware of what you're trying to achieve in terms of this particular program. Lastly, please share with us on our social media platforms what it is you're doing. Showcase that best practice. Tell us what case studies you've got. Tell us about some success that you've had, maybe with an individual, with a class, with a cohort of a group. Anything that you want to share, tell us about it, and we'll promote on our own social media channels. And then again, each week we want the Hooked on Hockey leaders to nominate a star of the week. So every week that star of the week will get a certificate to congratulate them. They'll also get a sticker, and again, they'll also get their name on the notice board so people can see visually who's won that award. So that was also a good idea, maybe to present an assembly and make a big song and dance about it. So it gives pupils that bit of kudos and that bit of limelight to shine on them for the actual success that they've gained from taking part in those sessions. So linked to support before, we've shown you that the resource that we give to the Hooked on Hockey leaders, but there's also some activity cards as well to help them inform their session plan delivery. So these will be in two forms. So there'll be actual PDF cards which we'll send to you. There's over 30 odd cards with different sort of small-sided games that teachers and hooked on hockey leaders alike can use to inform their session delivery. And there's also some virtual drone sessions which we'll send you as sort of YouTube clips, so they can visually see from bird's eye perspective how to plan and structure these sessions and maybe position players if they want to sort of deliver these in practice. So lots of really good resource there for teachers and leaders alike to set these sessions up. And when they're planning, they've got lots and lots of ideas to inform their own practice. We've then got separately to the leaders a participant pack. So we also wanted to reward those children who actually attend the sessions as well. So they will get an activity log. Again, it's editable, so you can share this with them digitally rather than have to print them off individually potentially. So all they need to do again is write the date, activity, do a self-reflection and get it signed off by the hooked on hockey leader to confirm they've attended those sessions. And again, once they reach 10, 20, 30, 40, they'll get a bronze, silver, gold and platinum certificate to prove that they've attended those sessions and can track their journey to prove they are actually hooked on hockey as a result of attending these sessions. So in terms of certificates then that we'll give out, these are the templates. So these are the ones that we'll issue to the leaders themselves. So this is one example when they reach 40 sessions of the platinum certificate, which the leaders can be awarded. And again, we've got these for bronze, silver and gold as well as. These are the certificates on screen now for the participants. So once they reach this, for example, is the 40 hooked on hockey session mark. Once they reach this level, they'll get their platinum certificate. And again, they'll have those for bronze, silver and gold as well as. And then we've also got 2 additional certificates, one for special recognition. So any young leaders who go above and beyond, certainly, issue these awards at the end of the academic year. And these certificates will also trigger a national award nomination. So a really important one. We wouldn't expect everybody to win these. It's only for those who've sort of gone that extra mile. And then in terms of hooked on hockey, start of the week certificate, which is issued every week. Again, like I mentioned before, maybe it's an award and assembly. There's that certificate there for you to visually see. That will be awarded again by your hooked on hockey leaders. So I've just gone through that in sort of, in brief, really. So if you want a follow-up chat individually as a school to talk through this in more depth, then feel free to reach out to me. But in terms of the other package, which we spoke about before, there are those silver packages at £100. That includes that additional teacher training with 2 free spaces. So not maybe only your P coordinator can go on that, but maybe a TA, a parent, or a sports coach, maybe that's linked to the school. You've also got that coach developer support, that mentoring in place post-course to help him further embed the hockey learning and development in your school practice. And you've also got that club link support as well. That's critical to ensure successful transition and bring that local support to your school. And again, if you want that equipment bag or those face-to-face sessions delivered in advance of that session, you've got absolutely ample opportunity now to embed hockey, health and wellbeing in your school through this package. So hopefully everything that we've discussed today is appealing, it's attractive to you as a school. If there's elements of different packages which you'd like to tie into one bigger package or smaller package, then certainly speak to us and we'll tailor it to meet your demands. But reach out to us because we're really keen to work with as many schools as possible, roll this program out and see what impact can it have in terms of developing hockey and increasing participation to inform not just at grassroots, but will also help us from a regional and national perspective in getting players through our pathway and into maybe some of our national team squads. And again, we've just qualified for the men's World Cup finals for the first time ever, so there's a bit of a buzz around hockey. Can we create that buzz as well in school settings to allow more pupils to play the game? So in terms of next steps then, if you want to reach out to me, there's my email address on the screen. I would love to hear from you, even if it's just for an informal chat, to know more about what we're trying to offer, what we're trying to do, what we're trying to achieve. And again, that can be anyone from a teacher, head teacher, a governor, maybe it's a local coach who wants to know more and wants to work closely with the school, and maybe you're thinking about doing a dual project with your local club. Just reach out to me and let's make it happen. And again, we can tailor your package accordingly. So look forward to hearing from you. And thanks again for joining and listening to me on the call.